With more and more high-stakes poker streams being added to YouTube pretty much every single day, it's never been a better time to be a viewer. But there's a truth that you have to understand when it comes to these poker streams. And the truth is, these streams are the biggest waste of time if you're actually trying to learn poker. Seriously. And let me be very clear, I'm talking specifically about wanting to improve your poker strategy. If that is your goal, these are not particularly good. But if you're trying to be entertained, these high-stakes streams are excellent. I mean, I watch them as well. And props to the people that actually run these games, host these games, manage them. It's wonderful. And even bigger props to the commentators that allow these games to be more accessible to more casual viewers and people that are kind of on the fringe of maybe being into poker as an interest. Props to them for sure. Now, with all that out of the way, I want to talk specifically to the players that watch these streams and are hoping to improve their game. And the first question you have to ask yourself is, how the hell are you actually going to improve by watching these things? If nothing else, you don't know the history and the context between different players. So you could watch a big name player who runs totally different plays against two totally different villain types in roughly the same exact spot and not really know what the heck to take away or not take away from the play that they actually made. Which one is right, which one is wrong, which one works against another player. Without history or context, you might not really have much of an idea there. Another thing to keep in mind is that the game formats can oftentimes be very unique on these streams and things that you're not really ever going to come across. Things like double straddles or third blinds, things you're really not going to see in your typical card room, whether you're playing online or live, and as such, it's not going to be nearly as useful if you're trying to actually learn anything strategically from these streams. Another thing to keep in mind while watching these streams is the density of pros and recs in the game, and is this representative of the games that you tend to play? If you play in games that are very small, you probably have a very high ratio of fish to regs, whereas when you're playing the streams, is that necessarily the case? And again, is that going to be particularly useful while trying to learn anything that you can actually apply in your own games? The real kicker when it comes to these streams is that the replays tend to be very, very long, oftentimes 5 or more hours. And when you're watching them, especially if you're someone who likes to watch the entire stream, and it makes sense, right? If you're trying to learn, you're trying to see the entire session, how everything plays out, how the history ebbs and flows throughout a single session, which isn't going to be a tremendous amount of hands, just keep that in mind. But the issue is that you're spending a lot of hours on something where, okay, could you spend 5 hours trying to learn something specific about poker? Because that's probably going to be way more beneficial. You're going to get some actual deep learning, some real focus learning, and things that you can actually apply at the tables, as opposed to going through a full 5-6 hour stream and hoping to pick anything that's usable. Keep that in mind. And if you want to ignore all of my advice so far, you're like, nope, I want to watch these streams, I absolutely love them, no problem whatsoever. Just please follow this piece of advice, and that is to not go into the comment section. Please, it is an absolute sewage bin of trash. Just do not go down to the comments. The comments are completely full of ego-oriented nonsense, results-oriented crap. It is just, you're not going to learn anything. You're not going to get into a good, solid discussion. You're going to lose about 7 IQ points for every minute you're down in the comments. Just don't even waste your time, please. So if you're still with me at this point, I pose one very serious question to you, and that is, what is your goal when watching poker content on YouTube? If your goal is simply to be entertained, watch the high-stakes streams. They are extremely, extremely entertaining. Again, props to the game runners, props to the commentators, props to everyone involved in making this thing happen. Since, 10 years ago, there were very, very few options, and now you have an absolute plethora of options to choose from. If you just want to be entertained, these are great. Enjoy them. Whatever you do, just enjoy them, right? It's entertainment first. But if you actually want to learn something, I would not suggest wasting your time there. I'm not saying skip them all together, maybe watch one a week or something like that, but I would actually spend some time looking at channels that are going to help your overall strategy. This, of course, being one of them, and hopefully you're subscribed by this point, right? If not, now's a good time to hit the sub button. I'll give you a moment. You subbed? Cool. Thank you. But seriously, learning poker means that you need to learn the actual theory, you need to see how it's actually applied, you need to practice with it, and then you need to refine it over time. This is a great channel to do exactly that, but if you're looking for something that's very, very specific and organized and exactly what you need if you're really trying to bridge that gap between beginner and intermediate play, I highly suggest checking out Core from Red Chip Poker. redchippoker.com/core to learn more, and seriously, Core is the most comprehensive poker course you're going to run across. There are 200 plus lessons. streams. Each is very organized so you know exactly what you need to know and when you need to know it, all in bite-sized lessons that you can quickly watch and start applying quickly. Just visit redshiftpoker.com/core today to learn more. Sign up, it's only $5 a week, and trust me, it's worth every penny. But at the end of the day, the option is 100% yours. Whether you spend a ton of time, a little time, or no time watching these high-stakes streams, I'm interested to hear if you feel differently about anything I've talked about in this video. If so, leave a comment down below, leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and want to see more content like this, and I'm curious to see what you say, what you're thinking about this, and hopefully this helps frame the conversation of thinking about your hours, and if nothing else, again, avoid the comment section on these streams. Seriously, you can thank me later. Again, thank you so much for hanging out today. I'll see you back shortly with a brand new video. In the meantime, good luck out there and happy grinding.